little bit.
Okay, I think it's recording. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I just have some like questions and stuff.
No, you're
No,
good.
it's fine.
You're good.
Okay. So, what years have you been involved with I Am We Are?
I started. Am I supposed to look at you? The camera.
Whichever one you want.
I'll look at you.
Okay.
I started my freshman year. I was in the workshop group because the group was divided into two groups at the time. There was an ensemble group and then the workshop group. So I was a part of the workshop group. And then last year again, I was in it. For the ensemble, then it was just one group, and then this year.
Okay.
So 3 groups, 3 years plus E pluribus that I've done for 2 years now.
Okay. What have some of the best moments been non-performance wise for I Am We Are?
Put me on the spot. All right. Best moments non-performance wise. I love just the process in general. The process of creating a show, the process of taking nothing and turning it into something is really, really special. And the fact that it comes from all of our own experiences is really, really special and really cool. Yeah, I would just say honestly, like the leading up to the show.
I'm just like
and,
making sure
fine.
it's like still working. Okay.
Just the leading up to the show and just all of the hard work that you see from the beginning and seeing like how it gets to the end point and how it gets to be what it is and how beautiful it is, and you just kind of look back at like the week that it took to create that, and it's so special.
Yeah, that's super cool. So what was like your first performance or experience with I Am We Are?
First performance, first experience with I Am We Are was E pluribus, which was when I was a freshman. I went and saw it, and honestly, it was the best thing ever. It completely changed my life. I just remember it being very powerful, very moving. Sorry, I have a cold.
No, it's okay.
Very moving, very relatable. I remember that was the best part of orientation weekend, and so I knew at that point I really wanted to do it. Wanted to do E pluribus and I wanted to do I Am We Are, and so my first I was involved in the workshop group, like I said, so I didn't get to do any performing necessarily until last year when I was part of the ensemble, but even before then I was a part of E pluribus last year, so my first real performance through I Am We Are was last E pluribus, and then last year I got to perform a couple times too.
Were you in E pluribus this year?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys are so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so what were like some memorable skits or performances that you've been part of?
Okay. Oh gosh. I really last year's Building Bridges topic, which was rape culture. I was a part of it was the action scene or whatever that was called. The action piece. That's the word. I was involved in the action piece, and my character had just been affected, had just been a victim or a survivor of rape, and so he was speaking out with another person, and I was the first room that people came in as they entered this action piece part of the exhibit, and I just remember it being very moving. I remember acting and trying not to look at people in the eyes, but seeing people crying or just being really affected, and that was really hard for me, but it was really powerful for me because I knew that I was speaking for someone, speaking to someone, and that I was touching people, hopefully in a positive way, because I was giving them a voice. Yeah, that was probably one of my favorites. Also, Laura and I's dance piece this year was one of my favorites. Actually, getting to do a dance for E pluribus this year was really, really cool. Something that is really special to me is dancing, and so I was really happy that I could offer that to the group, and then have Laura with me to offer that to the group, and it was just really special and really touching, and turned out so much more than I thought it was going to be, and apparently people really liked it. So
yeah, that was
really
one of
cool.
the skits. Sorry, interrupt you. That was
one
of the
you
skits
didn't
that
interrupt.
everyone was talking about it in my greeter group after.
Oh,
We
really?
spent a good 15 minutes talking about that one.
Thank you, that means so much.
Yeah, it was so good. I was it was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, those two are the ones that first come to my mind. They're all so good. It's so hard. There's so many funny ones, but those are the two that really stand out for me.
Yeah. Do you feel that you've reached out to people and touched people's lives
Oh,
in
yeah.
other instances than those two, or?
Yeah, actually last year, E pluribus, which is my first one, I did a coming out piece, which was kind of one of the first times that I actually like came out publicly, like to myself, like to other people, um, in a big audience. And so that one really, it touched me. But then I remember getting feedback afterward of, wow, thank you so much for sharing that. I really could relate to that. Or like, I just remember getting lots of praise or lots of like, um, just a lot of compassion towards that piece, and that really meant something to me because it meant that, you know, my story meant something to someone else, and that someone else could maybe feel stronger to tell their story because of mine, and maybe be the next person to fill my shoes potentially and pass that story on. And so that was really cool. That was really special. That was something that I would never want to take back. That was probably a perfect moment for me.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Thank you.
So, like, what kind of issues have you been able to express through I Am We Are?
So many issues. I'm like, what are my personal ones that I like to bring forward, or just what have I been able?
Either one.
There's so many. I would say, God, there's so many emotions that and so many topics that we're able to talk about. I would say that my favorite, or the ones that I strongly push for, are sexuality and gender. I really am looking to break down the definitions of what it means to be masculine or feminine or male or female, and really like just take away those stereotypes. So I really want to push that. Really want to focus on mental health this year. Also just bringing the dance aspect. I really want to have more physical pieces. I think that's important. And gosh, there's so many topics that I want to talk about. I want to talk about what it means to be white and kind of the connotations that come with that, but also what we can do as people that have privilege and I don't know, just what we can do for other people. I'm blanking.
No, that was a good answer. How do political or religious beliefs conflict with the work in I Am We Are?
Political and religious beliefs?
Yeah, like within the group itself.
Oh, like, okay. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Sorry, I'm like trying to like read this.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay, so how do like the political and religious beliefs of like people within the group like affects like how the performance pieces turn out?
Okay, actually, surprisingly, you know, we all have different perspectives and different points of view, but we work really well together. I think that that's something that IMWR has that's really special. That's one of the main reasons that we can actually get our stuff done, is because though we have different opinions, we have a space that we can talk about it. So if we have different opinions, different ideas, different perspectives, we are able to bring those forward and talk about them and be like, no, but I think this way. It's not someone telling us how it's supposed to be. It's everyone voicing their own opinions. And so we're able to talk about it. And it does get frustrating at times, you know, when you have disagreeing opinions, it's bound to get frustrating. But we really work through it in a positive and productive way, I would say. And I honestly think that it's a part of the process, and it creates a better product, because we all are able to voice our opinions and create the show together. It's not just one person's perspective. So
okay, that's cool. What issues would you like to express in the future? I feel like I already asked you that, but is there
I feel
any?
like I probably already answered that unintentionally. Gender, sexuality, whiteness, mental health, dance.
Okay. Okay, so now there's just like some topics that like kind of relate to like this like time period that like I have to like ask you about. So like there's just like I think there's 5 different topics like with questions.
Okay.
So the first topic is rape culture.
Okay.
So how do you think rape culture has affected campus?
Highly. As I mentioned earlier, I was actually part of Building Bridges last year too, and seeing the aftermath of the Building Bridges conference last year, and kind of just the hatred, it was just really cruel the way that people responded to the conference, and basically saying that rape culture doesn't exist, basically blaming people, telling people that have gone through those things that they don't matter, that they're not important, that it doesn't exist. Just really being a part of that, it truly solidified how much of a problem it really is on this campus, and because people are not made aware of the situations, people are not educated, people are very shallow-minded, they're very just, shallow-minded, and so it's very highly present on this campus. I think fairly. Rape culture is in everything that we do. It's not just in like the act of rape. It's in the music that we listen to that objectifies women, and it's in the movies and the TV shows that we watch. It's in the music. It's in, I said that. It's in the commercials that we see, the ads. It's all a part. It all creates rape culture, and so I don't think that people really understand what rape culture is. They just think that not a lot of rape happens here at Gustavus, which isn't exactly true either. But it's all of those little things that help create this culture that we don't really see, but it's really there, and we just kind of it's become the norm.
Yeah. Do you think that like Gustavus has done things since building bridges, like more things to like help like combat the rape culture here?
I do. I think that Gustavus has done a lot. I guess I'm not too educated about the specific things that it has done. I mean, I know that there's been lots of surveys, lots of anonymous surveys that you can take, and to help kind of share your story and help, I don't know, create it's not a census, but help, oh gosh, I don't even know. They have done things, I know. I just feel like it's more, from my perspective, I've done a lot more with individual organizations, like student-run organizations, to try and combat it, versus Gustavus doing more to combat it. But I'm not going to take anything away from Gustavus and what they've done either. I just am not super educated about it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Do you think that like if you like ran the world, like what else would you do?
Well, about rape culture?
To combat rape culture, yeah.
I definitely think, like I said, breaking down what it means to be masculine and feminine, I think that's a humongous part about rape culture, because what men think they ought to become and what women think they ought to become creates that culture of putting men above women and objectifying women. And so I think if we break down what it means to be male, what it means to be female, and we just take away those stereotypes, and we take away the connotations, we take away what we think we're supposed to be, I think that that's going to really help create a better culture and help stop the act of rape and rape culture in and of itself too.
Okay.
So I don't know what I would actually do. I know that I would put programs in place, and I would educate people a lot more about what it means to be male and female, and just how we can really, like, do we know, like when we say be a man, do we really like think about what that means, and like the implications that puts on people, and like the connotations that have. And so just like having those conversations and creating that environment that we like stop saying those little things that help make rape culture what it is.
Okay. Do you think that like campus safety has done like decent job of like making the campus feel like secure for people?
For in that instance, or in general?
Just I guess
like
both.
in rape culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean, I've had my own experience, not in a rape culture setting, but I've had to go to campus safety for something, and they've been nothing more than like very open-armed. They've been very helpful with me. They've been doing anything that they could to help me, and I can only imagine that's the same for those people as well. I know that you can go through steps to try and work with campus safety to get through those issues, and to tell your story, and to be proud of who you are, and to not feel like you have to hide it. And I feel like the campus really does try to promote that it's on your side and it's not your fault. And so I think that campus safety does a lot with offering help when it's needed. You just have to come to them, which is hard because you don't always want to do that, but that's how they're gonna know. I don't know. I'm rambling.
No, that was good. Okay, so the next topic, like moving on from that, unless like, do you have anything else to add, or?
I don't think so.
Okay, so then the next topic is Obama's re-election.
Oh God.
Which, were you like on campus for that, or is that like?
When was that? 2012?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I came here in 2013.
Okay, so I'm just gonna skip over the ones that like have to do with Gustavus.
Okay.
But so do you have any defined political sides that you identify with?
I wouldn't. I would say I'm a libertarian, which is, as far as I know, I don't know if it's wrong on camera, but as far as I know, libertarian is someone that's more fiscal and more conservative with their money, but it has more liberal views and so I'm very open-minded. I definitely need to see this country be more open-minded, and so I'm with whatever party aligns with that, which is more than likely Democratic. So I would call myself Democratic or Democrat, but I guess I'm more of a libertarian in the fiscal and money aspect.
Okay. So what were your reactions to Obama's re-election?
Do I have any? Do I remember? It was so long ago. I don't remember. I just remember that it's been kind of a debate within my family. I know that my father and I have different political views, and so I just remember it was just it was just awkward. When he first was elected, it was kind of like some of us were happy, some of us weren't. And then when he got reelected, same thing. And so I don't remember like having a specific. I don't even remember where it was or what happened that day, but remember that there's always just kind of been this like uneasiness between me and my family about it. So.
Okay. And then I think the rest of the questions have to do with like Gustavus at the time.
Not there.
So.
Just a senior in high school.
And then, okay, the next topic is the Tohoku tsunami, which was the one in Japan with like the nuclear power plants.
When was this?
2011. It is like.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the first question is, do you remember the tsunami in Japan in 2011?
Well, now that you mention it, yes. I do remember hearing about it. I don't remember where I was, or like I know that it wasn't really covered heavily, or like it wasn't talked about a lot at school. I just remember like hearing about it through people. Yeah. I guess I remember not a lot, which is sad.
It was like a while ago. The rest are then about like Gustavus, so that's like you wouldn't know that. Yeah. Okay, so then the next topic is gay marriage.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Was there anything being done at Gustavus prior to the legalization of same-sex marriage? Like any like advocates or anything like that?
I mean, Queers and Allies, the group that I'm in, is very. I mean, it's a support group. It's for people to come and be who they are, not feel like they have to come out, but be who they are. And so that's always been an option for people. I know that there's an LGBT actual support group on campus. I have never been a part of that. Trying to think campus-wise, I know it's been a very accepting, open community as far as since I've been here. I feel like there's just this feeling on campus to be accepting and open and embracing, and so I guess I don't think that there's ever been like a you have to be nice to everybody rule, or like anything to do with gay people or homosexuality or anything like that on campus, but it's always kind of been that way for me, so I guess I haven't known anything different. No.
Okay. So was there like, I don't know, how did like campus react when same-sex marriage was legalized? Like, was there like a big like reaction, or was it just?
So are we talking about Minnesota or the United States?
Either one.
Okay, because I wasn't here when it was legalized in Minnesota, and in the United States it was June, so
Yeah.
it was the summer.
Okay.
So I was happy. I mean, I guess I can only speak through like Facebook. I mean, as far as many of my friends through Facebook, through social media, were definitely like excited, very, I don't know, energetic, very happy about the decision. I guess there wasn't anything happening in school that I knew of. I don't know that Gustavus made a political. I don't think that they said anything about it. I just know that like a lot of my friends and the community that I surround myself with was very excited and very embracing towards the fact that it happened. I know that I was.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess that might have to do with like what friends I have on Facebook or like who I surround myself with. But as far as I can tell through social media, Gustavus through Facebook seemed excited about it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's great. So then, was there a different? Are you from Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So do you think that there was like a different reaction, like nationally and at Gustavus, to same-sex marriage being legalized, like nationally, than there was when it was legalized in just Minnesota? Does that make sense?
So you think that there's a difference between?
Like, was there a difference, like from what you saw between like when it was legalized in just Minnesota as
Mhm.
opposed to when it was legalized like for all of the United States?
I mean, it was a much bigger deal. I know that. I mean, even when it was legalized in Minnesota, I don't remember. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember what year it was. It wasn't a big deal as it was this year, and so um, even just for me on a personal level, like there was such. I mean, it was such a big deal. Yeah, you had Snapchat changing its filters towards all those things. You had like everyone making a big deal out of it, versus when it was just Minnesota. It was just another day. It felt like, which sadly, like it really wasn't. It was a great day, but our country just didn't choose to really make it that. It does depend, like who you surround yourself with, or like what organizations you follow, and you like keep track. For me, I would constantly have it on my feed or something that would like reaffirm that, be excited about it. But it really does depend like how much you immerse yourself in the culture, and yeah. So I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, that was good.
I
No.
ramble a lot. I'm sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
That's okay. It was
Trying to
good.
give you answers so that you can do whatever you need to do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. So did you like see any negative reactions to when marriage was legalized for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, you will, and honestly, like I said, through Facebook, I only saw like one or two people on my Facebook that were against it, and I'm pretty sure I probably unfriended them right after that, just because I was like, I don't need to see that. And so, as I've said before, it really does depend who you align yourself with, who you want to see, what you want to hear, and so that's the nice thing about Facebook, I guess. But I mean, there's always gonna be people that are gonna be negative about it. You have the woman in what state decide to just not legally recognize
Oh yeah, like the woman in Kentucky, wasn't it?
Kentucky, I think. Yeah, and so I mean, you'll always see stories like that, but it's like it just stops affecting you sometimes because you just know that really you won right now, and so that's enough. So yeah, there's always gonna be negatives, but it's really nothing that is gonna hurt me, or I don't think has hurt many people.
Okay. Is there anything else you have to like add to that topic?
Gay people rock. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think you asked a lot of good variety of questions that make me think.
Good, I'm glad. Okay, so the last topic is gun violence.
Okay.
So how do you feel about like the recent like spike in gun violence in the U.S.?
All right. Dang, you're asking me all these questions that I don't even think about on a daily basis. I think it's a problem. I think I have a really hard time. Plus, I'm not very super educated about the issue, which is a fault on my part. That I think that it's a big problem that people. I have a problem with people just being able to carry guns, but at the same time, I understand the pros for that. But then you have incidents like you have the shootings and the school shootings, and you have shootings in the movie theater, and you have all these things that just really shake up the foundation of why you should be able to carry a gun. And so I don't know where I stand on that. I'm still struggling with that one. I see the pros and cons of both. I see more of the negative, the hurt that it can harm, but I feel like that's something that I need to become more educated about.
Okay. So how often do you think that guns are actually used as like self-defense?
How often do I think?
Or
I would say.
Sorry.
I mean, I would think that I would hope that they're used in self-defense a lot, but I feel like they're more used in situations that they don't need to be used, in situations that people take advantage of other people and create negative situations. So I think that they're sadly not used for self-defense as much as they should be, and they're used for other things.
Okay. So this is like kind of a tough question. I don't actually know like.
Okay. Because they've all been easy before this.
How do you think the U.S. compares to other countries, like as far as gun violence?
I mean, oh boy. Gosh, I don't know. I guess I would hope, I think, I believe that